Okay, I think we can get started. And for anyone that's hopping on late, you're going to get the recording of the presentation as well. So welcome to our e-sign webinar. I'm Tara Jurist, Director of Marketing and Sales. We're happy to have you here with us today at St. Mark Village. We're a life plan retirement community that's been here 44 years. So we know a thing or two about taking care of our residents who we love and care for immensely. This webinar is about using e-sign software to simplify the process of the move-in paperwork. Angel Van Horn, who's also on the screen, is here from the company called Senior Sign to explain how this process works and to do a small demonstration of the ease of the electronic paperwork process. The presentation will take approximately 30 minutes. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat section of this presentation of this Zoom. And we'll be sure to answer them at the end. Our moderator will read them at the end of the presentation. Our moderator is with a company whom we also are proud to partner with called Senior Living Smart. So, and that with that said, I'm going to say, take it away, Angel.
All right,
Thank
great.
you for attending.
Let me share my screen here. All right, can everyone see that okay?
Looks good.
Okay, great. Yeah, just want to say thank you to Tara and Stephanie for inviting me to join today's virtual talk. I'm just excited to tell everyone more about Senior Sign, who we are, and what we do. And like Tara said, my name is Angel Van Horn. I am the Director of Customer Success at Senior Sign. I was also one of their first customers and used the software myself for 3 years in a sales and marketing role in a community in Nashville, Tennessee. So I got to start with this photo. I love this photo. It hits home for me, and I'm sure any others who have ever created paper applications. And although this is the community side of things, those papers were on their way to residents and their families to have them sort through themselves. So Neil Krause, who was our founder here at Senior Sign, he was asked by a sales and marketing director if he could put all of their admission paperwork online. Of course, this had to have already existed, right? After endless research, he realized that there was not a senior living specific software for e-signature and senior living admissions. And this photo was actually taken by Neil at a community, which is one of our current customers now. I personally have went through this process of printing multiple copies of admission packets. Hopefully you've collated them, or else you're in for a whole world of trouble and much more time-consuming process. And going through the tedious process of just putting them all together, then sending them out to families who in turn had to complete them and mail them back. So Neil says it best: we're passionate about solving real problems for real people, and that's what Senior Sign is all about. So what is Senior Sign? Senior Sign was built for senior living. We've built a software that is designed with seniors and their families in mind, keeping it as simple and straightforward as possible to sign agreements, attach any necessary documents prior to move-in, all while keeping your data secure. So paper was the main issue for a lot of our current customers. This includes, shipping, faxing, printing, scanning, storing, and filing paper. So Senior Sign solves a lot of those issues. Gone are the days of having to print and prepare and mail off paper packets. What Senior Sign has done has made it easy to provide, especially out-of-state family members or residents who just want to complete the agreements in the comfort of their own home, with access to the admission documents for communities like St. Mark Village. It's as simple as sending an invitation link to the resident or family, and then you can then create an account, have access to all of your documents immediately, and sign at your convenience. So the nice part about Senior Sign is it updates in real time, also for the community once the agreements are signed, which makes it very simple for both parties to be able to see the current status in real time of your application packet. Each document has specific requirements, whether those are required text fields or required signatures. This may be requirements by the state, or this could be just required by the community. This will ensure that all requirements are met and there's no need to worry about compliance, because you can ensure that once you've completed a document, that all of those necessary signatures and the required data is entered. No more documents that are difficult to read or the repetitive signing. So one thing that Senior Sign offers is a click to sign feature. This means the resident will need to, you as a resident or family member will click to acknowledge that you agree to the terms of the contract, for example, and a signature will populate with your full name. This could be edited if necessary, but there's no need to type in your name 20 plus times, which can get a little tedious. So, and I'm going to do a quick demonstration in a few minutes after my slides, just to give you an idea as to what that really looks like in the resident portal. The autofill feature is also one of our main features within the software. And this means that anywhere within the agreements that it may be necessary to enter, for example, a resident's full name, those fields will automatically populate with that information, as well as any other information that may need to be entered several times within those documents. This could include things such as phone numbers, street addresses, email addresses, date of birth information, and primary physician information, for example. So we have the one-click signing, autofill features, we have on-screen help. And then, of course, like I said, it's designed with seniors and their families in mind. So we have large font sizes and specific and very bright colors, just to make everything a lot easier to not only read, but navigate throughout the process. You can sign at home or in person, or both for that matter. So Senior Sign offers the flexibility to sign the agreements in a way that best suits your specific situation. You may want to sign a few agreements in person with the admissions director if you have specific questions on, for example, a contract, but then complete the other documents like a resident life story or other consents and ancillary documents at home. You will have the ability to easily upload attachments that are requested prior to move-in. These could include things such as photo IDs, insurance card, or power of attorney documents. Once the packet is complete, the resident and family, everyone will have access to download the agreements for your records as well. Again, something I'll show you in just a few minutes. Compliance issues, so missed signatures and incomplete documents are a concern, but we will track each packet's compliance to ensure those requirements are met prior to submitting a packet for review. We are HIPAA compliant, so the data is encrypted and housed on HIPAA compliant servers. All of the data is encrypted while in transit and at rest. Per the e-Sign Act, every signed document must include an audit trail, and you will find that on the last page of each agreement. Any electronic personal health information, or EPHI as it's referenced, once that's collected, it is stored for a minimum of 7 years. We do have resources regarding our security and compliance, as well as our own HIPAA compliance officer on the Senior Sign team. So please feel free to reach out to myself if you would like more in-depth information on the data protection. And with that being said, I'm going to give you a brief overview of what it looks like when signing documents in Senior Sign as a new resident of St. Mark Village. I'm going to navigate. I have a separate tab open in my browser here. I'm going to use my good old Charlie Brown example, as I usually do. So I've created a test packet here today for Charlie. So you are going to be sent a link to create a Senior Sign account, which gives you access to the resident portal. Once you've created a password and have access to your dashboard, you will see all of the available packets to you, whether Charlie has multiple packets or maybe we have spouses moving in. Both packets can populate on one dashboard for ease to sign. So once I click into Charlie's packet here, the first step is gathering some information. Now, if the admissions coordinator at the community has completed a lot of this information, that will pre-populate and pull in, but you can always come in here and edit that if any of that needs to be changed. So there's a few required fields, things like name, phone number, email address, and then of course you could enter date of birth information if you need to enter your social, and then your current street address. Once you've gathered that initial information, the second step then is to get your agreement signed. So I've just created 2 sample documents for today's virtual talk, a consent to photograph and an emergency contact information, just to give you an idea as to what it looks like to sign the agreements through Senior Sign. So if I jump into my consent to photograph form, it's going to pull in things like the resident's name. So I don't need, again, to enter my name 20 plus times throughout the agreements. I can easily walk through and make my selections here as far as what I consent for. And then I have the opportunity to sign, again, click to sign feature. And these fields are editable, as I mentioned. So maybe we want to add a middle initial. You'll also see an option if someone is signing through a power of attorney. You can notate that here by checking this box. It may be one of the documents that you require to upload prior to move-in, of course, just to show proof that you have the authority to sign. Once I click sign, and then click to date. So any date field associated with a signature, you will click to date. It will insert the date you sign. You'll see there are maybe some inactive fields, such as the facility or community's representative signature. So they will sign after you have the opportunity to complete your portion. Once that all, and I'm very zoomed in, so let me zoom out a little bit. Once that's finished, I can select finish here on the top right-hand corner and continue walking through the remainder of the agreements. I'm just going to jump into this emergency contact information form so you can see how we will autofill and pre-populate these documents with the information that's provided. Again, so no repetitive information needs to be completed. So things like my name, phone number, email address, current street address, this has all pulled in from information I've previously provided, and I can continue walking through the agreement, providing my primary emergency contact and all of the subsequent information that is requested. And you'll see there are designated required fields. Those are all going to be marked with a red asterisk. As long as the requirements are met, you have the ability to finish the document. Once all of that looks good, I can move on to the next step, which may or may not be attaching documents. So things that we're requesting prior to move in from St. Mark Village, maybe insurance cards, power of attorney documents, and so forth. It's really simple. If you just have the access to upload a file from your computer, whether or not you've maybe taken a photo of your driver's license or ID or scanned these documents in. So you can select attach and choose a file from your device. Lastly, before submitting for review, or really you have access to this at any time, because you can always jump into your Senior Sign account and review all of your signed agreements, but I could come in here and download all of my signed agreements in their current state, just so I can keep those for my records as well. If everything does look good, I can easily submit this for review, and that will just send someone like Tara a notification that you've completed your documents. She can go ahead, review, make sure that everything looks good, and or sign off on any contracts or agreements that may need her final signature. So once I submit that for review, and again, you can come back, use your login access anytime to review any signed agreements or any new documents that may be sent your way. Jumping here, and I know sometimes I can be a fast talker, so I might have went a little under, but that is, I'm happy to answer any questions that anyone may have at this time.
Thanks, Angel. We do have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Can you talk about just a little bit more of the privacy of Senior Sign? I know you said you were HIPAA compliant, but a lot of times, we get the questions of the safety of the information. So does Senior Sign at all sell the residents' contact information to any of the communities?
No, so we do not sell any resident information for any reason. It violates HIPAA, so it's just a policy of ours that we will never sell any resident data.
Awesome. And then another question, can I fill out the documents from my phone or the tablet, or does it have to be done on a computer?
It does not have to be done on a computer. You can, I say for best user experience, I suggest a tablet or larger, but we have families every day complete documents through Senior Sign on mobile devices. So any screen is possible.
Awesome. How long would you say normally that it would take to fill out these documents? I know it depends community to community, but what is a resident looking at for timeline?
That is a great question. It is somewhat dependent on the size of the packet that they're completing. We have some communities that have maybe 60-page contracts, might take a little bit longer to read and review, make sure that you've, covered all of the fine prints. I would say on average, depending on the size of the packet, you may be sitting down anywhere between a half an hour, maybe a more lengthy packet towards 45 minutes. Again, just really depends on the paperwork.
And when I fill out my documents in the account, do I get a notification in return when the documents are reviewed and signed by Tara, for example?
Yes, you should receive an email once those documents are signed by the community for any agreements that may need a final signature. And then you will see in real time, once you log back into your resident portal, those completed agreements. And then you, of course, could download that version.
Awesome. I think that was all the questions that we had submitted. Does anyone else have any questions, or, Tara or Stephanie have any follow-up questions at all?
I have a wrap up, so I think I don't have any questions right now, but I do have a wrap up at the end if once everybody's done with theirs.
I think we're good to go. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do you want to, let's see, let me put myself back up here. If you're on social media, first of all, thank you so much for attending. Everybody that did attend or people that signed up that couldn't attend will get the information sent over to them. Thank you, Angel. Very informative. I know this is something you have to use it to go through it, but it is very, very simple. The feedback we're getting from people that are using it now are very, very pleased. If you are in social media, please check out our Facebook, our Instagram, our LinkedIn pages for events that are happening, or any events that are going on in our community. You're all always welcome to come attend. On our website, under our resource tab, there's information as well. We also have a newsletter called the Lively Mark that lists out our events in the community. Reminder for anyone that is interested in moving into the community before the end of the year that we will have some rate increases by December 31st. So please give us a call directly. You can call us at 727-464-1750, ask for a sales counselor, and we'd love to have you stop by for lunch, a tour, and just kind of discuss any options as well as any questions you would have to follow up for the paperwork. And see our beautiful community. So thank you again, Angel. Thank you, Carrie Ann, Stephanie from Senior Living Smart. And we look forward to seeing you all here soon. Appreciate it. And I think we'll end the webinar now. So everybody have a wonderful day.
Thank you all.